Hey guys, my name is Corey. Welcome back to some of my favorite days. It is late Sunday night right now, and I wanted to do an intro to this week's video. Normally I'm posting by Friday nights, but we lost a beloved matriarch of the family, and I spent the last 2 days with my family honoring her memory. So here it is late Sunday night. I'm gonna do my best to get a video out since I already have it filmed. We are still doing the Three Rivers Challenge. However, I did make an exception this month. I will not be making trips to the store, but when the prices come up that we need for stocking up on large amounts of things, like this week we stocked up on cheese and crackers and some ramen. We can't miss out on those deals. That's the way that we save so much money. So the exception this month is that those stock up deals we are going to take advantage of. I threw in a few lunches this time, which I don't do normally a lot, and I turned my roll recipe into some loaf bread to see if I can get a sliced white bread that we all think turns out really good. Come along with me and see what craziness happens this week. For lunch today, I'm gonna throw these leftovers together in a pan and make a hot chicken dip. Dang it. Just a couple hours out there. It's so cold. Here's the broth that I made from the chicken bones. I'm gonna put it back in the clean crock pot. The bones go to making dog food now. And here I'm gonna cut up some potatoes, add it, and the onion, add it to the broth, and start some potato soup for tonight. Here's the extra broth. And I've got the potatoes going now. It's a few hours before dinner, so it should be nice and soft by the time dinner's ready. I'm gonna add some water to the Instapot now and get the dog food going. That I pulled out of the freezer to start thawing for this week. My husband cooked for the boys tonight, so I'm gonna turn mine into some tacos with a little bit of scrambled eggs. Here I am doing the same roll recipe you guys see me make multiple times a week. I am going to try to make it into 2 loaves this time and make some homemade white sliced bread. Today is day 8 into February, and we did crunch wraps before and they were a hit, so we're gonna go ahead and do them again by request. We finished this pack of tortillas, so I pulled the other one out of the freezer, and I'm going to cut this chicken breast up real small and marinate it in a taco seasoning. So I started cutting up this chicken, and I figured I might as well just film it for you guys. I'm gonna take these strips. There were 2 breasts in the package, so I'm gonna just cut up one. I'm gonna put the other one into a Ziploc and then use it for another dinner. So tonight, I told you guys we're gonna do crunch wraps again. And so I want these little chicken pieces to be like super bite-sized because I'm gonna be putting them in the crunch wraps. So I'm going to take this taco seasoning, this giant thing I got from Costco, and I'm gonna just do a little marinade on these tiny little pieces, and I will fry them up and then assemble the crunch wraps, and that'll be dinner tonight. Tomorrow is the Super Bowl, so I'm going to make charcuterie boards tomorrow, veggie and meat and cheese and all that for the Super Bowl, and then we'll see what we're gonna make for dinner after that. Okay, so I did cut off all the fat off the chicken, and this is gonna be a marinade I'm gonna fry. So I'm gonna go ahead and just drizzle a little bit of oil in it, just so that it makes it onto the chicken. A little bit of vinegar. I'm doing apple cider just because that'll go well with our taco seasoning. And then a decent amount of seasoning. It's gonna be part of the flavor inside of the crunch wrap. So we don't want it to be boring. I'm gonna go ahead and see what that looks like. Yeah, I want more. So I have this old seasoning in my cupboard, lime, garlic, and cilantro. So I'm gonna go ahead and put some of that on there too and start getting rid of some of that. Another sale to stock up on at one of the stores in town. So we got a bunch of crackers, and we stocked up on cheese again. They had a really good deal on cheese, so we grabbed a whole bunch of those to throw back in the freezer. There was a 3 for $1 sale on these, so we went ahead and grabbed a case. We don't care about the flavor because we throw the packet away, so we just grabbed a case of what was the most on the shelf. I took my homemade broth and I put in just enough to cover the noodles so that the noodles will soak up most of the broth, and then I can mix in some cheese and seasonings. And then here's what it ends up looking like, just kind of a homemade throw together creamy pasta. cooking these steaks down in this homemade sauce here for some tender steak sliders. The concoction that I cooked the steaks down in, and then I went ahead and added the sharp tail to it and inside the crock pot and cooked it down in it also. And now I'm going to take the little bit that's left and turn it into a pizza sauce. Today is the 12th and we are packed full in here, so I'm gonna go ahead and go through the fridge, pull out all the leftovers and rearrange and figure out what we need to eat out. I had that single chicken breast left in the fridge, so I cut it up and I threw it into some milk and ranch seasoning. I'm gonna let it marinate up and I'm gonna make a couple of homemade chicken tenders tonight to go along with dinner. Here's some old scraps of bread I have in the freezer. I'm gonna pull out and make my own homemade breading for the chicken nuggets. Okay, so I've melted some butter and cubed up our bread over here. I put some spices in the bowl and I'm gonna toss everything around and then bake it, and then I will pulse it up for some finer breadcrumbs later.